What is happening, YouTube? Cowboy here, and welcome to my Soul Cores guide for Nioh 2. Now, Soul Cores are a new mechanic in Nioh 2, and quite a few people are kind of confused about exactly how to min-max these and what you should use. So today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at how they work in tune with Guardian Spirits and what you should do to maximize the effectiveness of them. Now, first thing I want to discuss is how they actually affect the Guardian Spirit. When it comes to putting on Soul Cores, your Soul Cores are going to help to boost up both the additional attack power and the additional defense you receive when you're possessed, i.e. when you are in your Yokai form. Now, how this is calculated is it's going to take the attack and then the attack on one and the attack on the other. So, for example, I have 29 attack right here, I have 28 attack right here, so that's going to be, what, 57? 57 times 1.12 is 63. Conversely, my 31 plus my 24 is going to equal 55. 55 times 0.88 is 49, and that's how you're getting these numbers. Now, in addition to that, the numbers on the cores themselves are also going to impact how strong the core is. For example, this is a level 34 Anki. It has a 29 value in attack. Now we're going to go and we're just going to summon a Yoki here and use this. So you can see a direct hit will do 1041. Whereas a glancing will do 734. Now we're going to put on a much higher level Anki. And this Anki is level 59. You can see I go up to 42 attack on it, so a good bit higher. What you're going to notice here is the damage is higher, but it's not major. See, a direct hit is now 1067. Stand up to show the glancing. You can see 752. And the point I want to show this, or why I want to show this, is essentially if you get a Soul Core early on and it's something you really like, one that I'm a big fan of is the Yatsu no Kami. It's one of the boss cores. Yatsu no Kami is a great core to use, but if you get it really early on, you might not have a leveled up version of it, and that's fine. As you can see, my Yatsu no Kami is only level 24, and despite that, it is still quite powerful. So while a higher level core does mean more damage from that Yokai ability, it's not a major damage difference. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is actually getting your Soul Cores on. When it comes to your Guardian Spirits, each Guardian Spirit is going to have a separate attunement cost, which you can see at the bottom of the screen. Something like Makami is locked at 14, Shirohami is at 15, and you can see this is going to change drastically between the various ones. Some are going to go nice and low, some are going to be up higher. Now, that is not going to change. Can't level those up and get the attunement higher, but what you can do is find Soul Cores that have attunement cost -1. In this particular case, my Yatsu no Kami has attunement cost -1, and my Namahage has attunement cost -1. So even though these are both fairly high-level cores with relatively beefy attunement costs, I'm able to get both of them on my Shirohami. So that is one thing to look out for when it comes to, basically hunting for those cores. Now, since we've covered that, the next thing I want to talk about is leveling up the cores, and to do that, we're going to have to jump out of the dojo here. I'll also show the dojo real fast. I feel like a lot of people are missing out on this. It is, without question, I love this. This is one of my favorite things about Nioh 2, is that you can jump into the dojo. You can practice yokai abilities, your yokai counters, just, whatever. There's a variety of different enemies you can summon up to fight. For those curious on that, real fast, you just go to dojo, and then all the way at the bottom, training ground. So, anyway. Let's hop on into the shrine, and we're going to look at managing our Soul Cores. Now, when it comes to your Soul Cores and the Soul Core rank of them, that is going to impact the bonuses that they receive. Switching this on over to type, if I look at these two different Ankis here, you can see that this one is at a Soul Core rank 2. My anima bonus for damage taken is only C, and my melee damage versus humans is 1.6. Whereas this one is up at rank 9, and I have a B rating and a 2% melee damage versus humans. And that is what your Soul Core rank is going to dictate. The higher the rank, the better all the bonuses on that Soul Core are going to be. So, how do we do that? We go into Soul Fusion, we select a core. Obviously, you want to select one that has bonuses you're fond of. In this case, I had Luck and Amrita Gauge Charge, so that's what I used to level up. But let's find something else. We'll level up something else right now. So, looking at the Kappas here. Right, this Kappa has anima charge and item drop rate. This has anima bonus for purification. Extended yokai shift. Let's go for anima charge. So if I take that, I just go and I start selecting the other Kappas. We can see that now my Soul Core rank is going to go up to 4. Same thing, going to go in, I'm going to unlock this Kappa, put him on. I can see my soul core rank is going up to 6. And as I continue to do this, you can see that that rank will keep going up and those bonuses are going to increase. Now, typically you can only fuse soul cores with matching soul cores. So Yamnaba has to go with Yamnaba. However, there are a couple exceptions to this, and this is going to involve the mortal soul cores, which I believe I do have one to show right now. Let me... Oh, where's my guy at? There we go. So mortal soul cores, these are going to drop from human enemies, and you can use these to level up anything. So even though Namahage isn't considered a mortal at all, I can feed him this to level him on up. In addition to that, one thing that's interesting about them is if I go for something that is, let's just use Inera, for example. If I were to use a brute mortal soul core, a red one, and then I go here, I can change Inera from a brute or a phantom. I can pick whatever I want it to be. Now, the reason this is important is twofold. One, when it comes to your cores, ideally you want to match your cores to your guardian spirit. Looking over here, what I'm referring to is each guardian spirit has something right there on the right side of the column, brute, feral, phantom. Ideally, you want to match your soul cores with the same alignment. So in my Shirohami here, I have a brute Namahage and a brute Yatsu no Kami. And even though Yatsu no Kami is typically considered a phantom core, I was able to turn it into brute using the mortal cores. So those are very, very valuable, and I would not suggest just using them all willy-nilly in terms of, just like, oh, I'll just use this to level it up, because you can use those to change the alignment of what a core is. Now, the last thing I want to talk about regarding your soul cores is a bit of a side mechanic, but that is in the Blacksmith. Now, while soul matching in general is considered quite restrictive and kind of a pain, you can actually use soul cores to level up certain weapons, namely corruption weapons. This Tobikuro Kusarigama here, I was to go through, let me find the something here. This is 14,000. I'd actually need, well, so let's just use that as our baseline. Just to get this up a couple levels is going to be 15,000. If I was to go over to my soul cores, though, you can see that I have a much cheaper cost here. This one is 22,000. But right here, 9,000 to get that up. 68 is going to be 3677. And namely, you can use your soul cores to level up corrupted weapons, and in particular, you can use it to level up purple tier corrupted weapons, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. If you've tried soul matching a purple weapon, you know that taking it up 10 levels can easily run you into the hundreds of thousands of gold, whereas using a high level soul core, it might only run you, 20, 30,000. So just something to keep in mind with them. So that is going to wrap up everything regarding the soul cores. Just some other things I do want, one other thing I do want to touch on here, and that is the Inheritables. So similar to how we have weapons with Inheritables, we also have soul cores with Inheritables. Let me find one that has one that I can use. Here we go. So this Yamnaba here, we have Animate Charge in the Dark Realm, and we have that Inheritable icon next to it. This one does not have an Inheritable. So if I take this soul core, and I take this Yamnaba soul core, you can see that the finished product, oh wait, never mind. This one is not going to let me do it because why? Why are you not letting me do this? Well, my guess is that the anima bonus might be conflicting with the anima charge. Let me find a different one. Here we go. Item drop rate versus humans. That should be an easy inheritable. So if I take that, I go for my item drop rate, and there. We can now see that on the level 51 one-eyed Oni, instead of just having anima bonus, Omeo magic hit, and attunement cost, it will also get that item drop rate versus humans. So this is also something that's important to keep in mind when it comes to leveling the soul cores. If you have one that's really nice, but it has like a really bad inheritable, you're kind of stuck with that. And ideally, you want to make sure that you keep that slot open so you can get an inheritable on it that you would like. So that is going to, well, I guess real fast, just to touch resting rights. This is useful for getting rid of any soul cores you don't want. So if you just select soul cores that you don't think you're ever going to use, low-level ones that aren't good for soul matching, in this case, Enki's already leveled up, so if I was to go to a soul fusion, let me get to my Enki's real fast just to show. Once you have one that's maxed out, you're basically set. If I was to take this, is my highest level Enki here. If I was to take this level 55 Enki, and then go and take this Enki, you can see I'm going straight up to level 9. So essentially, you only need to get one of a particular soul core type up to 9, and then every time you need to fuse, you can just keep using that one, and it'll carry over all that progression. So over with resting rights, if we want to use those, we can essentially get rid of the ones that we're not going to use. Take these Gakis, for example. They're too low level to be useful for soul matching, so if I select them all here and I go to break them down, I will get warp jawbones, and in addition to that, you'll notice my shiftling level is going to go up because I'm getting soul fragments, and this is going to unlock the additional bonuses that we can get in the shiftling tree. When you break them down, obviously warp jawbone is a rare material from that particular yokai, so if you're looking for rare materials in particular, basically yanking them out of soul cores is a viable approach. So now that we've covered resting rights, I'm pretty sure that's everything there is to soul cores. Honestly, I'm a really big fan of them. I think that the soul cores really do mix the game up. I like the idea of having a special ability. So either way, what I would suggest doing is going into the dojo, picking up a couple soul cores, testing them on out against a yoki, testing them out against a regular warrior, and kind of seeing what you like. One thing interesting you can do in the dojo is actually summon up multiple enemies. You can run around and get up a dweller, a skeleton, a yoki, a knight, and then sprint around until they're all in a corner and try using your ability and see how it does in a situation where you're surrounded. So either way, thanks for coming on by, guys. Hopefully this helps you dig even deeper into Nioh 2. Really got to give it to this game because I am absolutely loving every second I am playing it. And I'll see you guys out there on the battlefield.